My mistakes have been put on the public stage. Other people's mistakes aren't. And there are many things that are good, but good news doesn't sell papers, and bad Fergie sells.
She had been working for Soho House since at least 2005.
She crafted a worldwide persona around the fantasy of a perfect romance. But behind the glittering headlines and staged smiles, there exists a Meghan Markle the world was never meant to witness. When she first walked onto Suits and crossed paths with Jessica Morini, everything shifted. This wasn't a woman who tripped into royalty by accident. She climbed toward it with ruthless, calculated intent. She was one of my deal or no deal girls. A shadow operative in celebrity circles, maneuvering behind the scenes, delivering charm like currency. For years, she peddled the story of a struggling actress who, by sheer fate, stumbled into a prince's arms, as if the universe had personally reserved Buckingham Palace for her. This man here? Nick Jones, Soho House's original mastermind. Guess where he was headed? Meghan and Harry's wedding, as guest of honor. And yes, he was not alone. But insiders say that fairy tale? It's as believable as a Hallmark script written on a Red Bull binge. Because long before Harry even appeared on the horizon, Meghan had already infiltrated the right rooms, clasped the right hands, and aligned herself with the people who mattered most, those with power conveniently within reach. Once a Soho House regular, always a Soho House regular. She didn't stumble through fame. She dissected it. She didn't network, she orchestrated. She refused to blend in. She commanded the spotlight and made sure it never blinked. Every handshake had weight. Every connection carried currency. Every opportunity was harvested like precious gold. And nobody saw it better than Sarah Fergie, who had an unblinking front-row view of Meghan's true entrance into royal circles. Many people live lost, shackled by past missteps. I wish I could change so much, Fergie admits. But I can't. You have to move forward. Revisiting old mistakes is agonizing. All the tearful documentaries, the polished interviews, the rehearsed victim stories? Cute. But Fergie holds the evidence. And if it ever went public, Meghan's fairy tale wouldn't just crack. It would explode. Because Meghan's ascent didn't begin in the palace. It began in Soho House. And that's where the danger lives. She has always had an almost eerie obsession with that world. A magnetic pull to its secretive glow. Forget the story of a timid actress hiding in Hollywood shadows. Meghan wasn't waiting for destiny to knock. Her true stage was Soho House, the secretive sanctuary where influence is cultivated and fame is manufactured with a single text. While others clawed for auditions and survival, she moved through those shadowed lounges like a grandmaster. Each step plotted, each move inevitable. She wasn't aiming to be noticed, she was aiming to be immortalized. Every dinner was a calculated investment. Every cocktail a strategic introduction. Every whispered conversation a stepping stone into worlds ordinary actors could only fantasize about. That's where she learned the unspoken law of the elite. Power is not earned, it is absorbed, accrued through proximity. And in those shadowed circles, the names that mattered weren't just wealthy, they were untouchable. Weinstein, notorious, prominent, names whispered in the corridors of power. And amidst this shadowed elite, Meghan Markle was just another player in a calculated game. Call her what you will, social climber, strategist, opportunist. She attached herself to producers, aristocrats, billionaires, media fixers, anyone who could accelerate her rise. Her access wasn't luck. Marcus Anderson, one of Soho House's master network architects, acted as her invisible escalator. She didn't stumble upward. She was elevated deliberately, step by deliberate step. The higher she climbed, the sharper her intent became. She wasn't merely mingling with the elite. She was curating her network, handpicking allies, and plotting a blueprint that would eventually lead straight to British royalty. Long before the public even whispered her name, Meghan was laying the foundation for a crown, but there was someone quietly observing every move. Someone who understood every nuance of ambition and influence. Sarah Ferguson. And now the reckoning was inevitable. Meghan and Fergie mirrored each other. Ambitious, calculating, aware of the stakes. Rumor has it that Fergie never publicly criticized the royal family because she was entangled in shadows herself, aware of dealings most would never imagine. While Meghan polished her image inside Soho House, Fergie studied her with the insight of a veteran of the same battlefield, seasoned by scandals, headlines, and royal politics. Fergie didn't need PR handlers or staged photo ops. She had lived the game, endured it, mastered it. And when Meghan entered a room acting as if she had stumbled upon prestige, Fergie immediately recognized the hunger, the calculated intent behind the smile. Unlike dazzled celebrities, Fergie saw strategy. She saw Meghan gravitate only toward people who could lift her higher, ignoring anyone without influence. She saw the mirror of her own early hunger reflected back at her. Meghan had no idea she was being dissected by someone who knew exactly what it took to survive and thrive in that world. At first, Fergie respected her. She even offered quiet guidance, pointing her toward doors she couldn't open alone. But then everything changed. Meghan didn't stay loyal. She didn't honor the hands that had lifted her. She latched onto the powerful, clung to whoever could take her higher. And once she achieved proximity to Harry, the transformation was brutal. Friendly smiles vanished. Polite gratitude dissolved. Strategic charm hardened into selective amnesia. Fergie, once essential, was suddenly erased. Meghan didn't just distance herself. She pretended Fergie never existed. Crossing the royal threshold, anyone who knew her past became expendable. For Fergie, it wasn't just the distance, it was the disrespect. She had watched Meghan manipulate every move, and never expected the bridge she helped build to be burned. Rumor has it, Fergie wasn't even acknowledged in Meghan's early royal celebrations, despite quietly guiding her into the aristocratic world. That was the fracture point. Fergie wasn't blindsided because she needed Meghan, she was blindsided because she had offered genuine support, and that loyalty had been spat on. When Meghan abandoned those who elevated her, Fergie realized something terrifying. This wasn't ambition anymore. It was erasure. Someone willing to delete their past can be dangerous. And Fergie remembers every detail, every connection, every shadow of the woman Meghan once was. Sources reveal that Meghan maintained contact with Epstein for years, frequenting his flats. Another thread quietly stitched into her hidden history. Once she entered royal life, the cleanup campaign began. Not in the palace, but in the past. Names vanished from social circles. Photos disappeared. Friendships downgraded. This wasn't random. It was targeted. Those who could expose the pre-Duchess Meghan were carefully erased. The more polished her royal image became, the more aggressively the past was sealed away. Explosive whispers persist. Pre-Harry billionaires, yacht parties with elite insiders, introductions made for influence rather than affection. One rumor even suggests a strategic proximity to Prince Andrew before Harry, not romance, but calculated network alignment. Fergie saw it all. She was there when Meghan would have preferred no witnesses. Even the wedding guest list hints at omission. Key Soho House figures conveniently absent, removed because their presence contradicted the crafted narrative. Meghan wants the world to believe she ascended by destiny. Fergie knows better. It was strategy, groundwork, calculation. And now, whispers of a tell-all book from Fergie have sent tremors through the palace. The reaction? Fractured. Some insiders recognize immediate danger. Fergie is not a gossip columnist. She is a survivor of the royal machine, a woman who has endured, fought back, and understands how to wield truth as a weapon. Harry, however, is trapped in emotional limbo. Fergie's revelations could obliterate Meghan's carefully polished image, and along with it, the world Harry has painstakingly built with her. Suddenly, he has no shield. No ally in the palace to protect him from the fallout. The royals aren't united anymore. They are fractured, divided, and that division is exactly what gives Fergie the lethal leverage she never had before. What makes Sarah Ferguson truly dangerous isn't envy, bitterness, or a lust for relevance. It's the power of knowledge. She wasn't a distant observer of Meghan's climb. She was a witness to every move, every calculated step, every hidden strategy. And now, that insight has the potential to rewrite history.